Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Church of Uganda Family TV. And now, just like every Saturday, it is Flourishing Hub, where we entirely mained on empowering the young generation to be something in society, not to be a nuisance like most elder people like calling those who are not good in society. So it's always important for you, the young person out there, to tune in to Church of Uganda Family TV every Saturday at 2 p.m. Just to witness what we have for you always in store from Flourishing Hub. Remember, we are powered by Young and Flourishing, a company that you would want to go to for motivation, for a build-up in terms of projects and all that sort of. So please always find time. The contacts are always available whenever you need them. Young and Flourishing is there for you to empower you, the young person out there. Now, my name is Luke Majumba Alinaito, and it is a pleasure to introduce to you our guest today, Mr. Simon. Yes, you're most welcome here, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you can greet our viewer out.
Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Simon Agaba. I am a lawyer, an advocate of the High Court, and I'm very happy and pleased to be hosted at the Family TV. Thank you.
Okay, that is very interesting. And of course, as you heard, he is a lawyer. So today you would want to know how is the lawyer included in the things to do with empowering the youth. But today we're going to be discussing on how the law or the lawyers or the legal enterprises, the legal entity, how it supports the small and medium enterprises to grow. So it is very interesting always to know that in whatever we do in society, there must be an attachment of the law, so that in any case, any scenario, you're defended by your own laws. So that is why Mr. Agaba is here, and that is what we are going to entirely discuss here today. Now, Mr. Agaba, I want you to start this discussion with defining for us the role of the law in supporting the small and medium enterprises.
Okay, thank you very much, Luke. The small and medium enterprises fundamentally play a big role in the development of any country's economy, because they employ people, they pay taxes, and they need legal support at all angles. So as the lawyers and the law firms we work in, they support the small and medium enterprises in many ways. And if I was to make a snapshot of what they basically do, you find that the law or the law firms or the lawyers support them in making sure that there are compliance audits. Compliance audits is that every small and medium enterprise must be compliant at all angles, at all stages. So the lawyers come in to make sure that there is compliance. And how is compliance ensured? Small and medium enterprises, you find that at times they are registered as companies, or they are registered as partnerships, or as corporations, or as joint ventures, among others. So you find that they have some regulatory requirements they have to meet, like filing of annual returns, filing of tax returns, making sure that the company is compliant in terms of principles of corporate governance. So you find that that is basically the role of the lawyer. Then the lawyers or the law firms support the small and medium enterprises in managing risks. And the mere fact that any small and medium enterprise embraces the need to have a lawyer as a legal advisor, you find that because of the other compliances we had talked about, the audits of compliance, you find that some risks can be managed, and the moment the business manages risk, its growth is guaranteed. Then, as small and medium enterprises grow, they get partnerships, they get people to work with. So you need contract management and reviews. So the lawyers are specialized in angles and areas of contracts. So you are assured that if you have employed a lawyer as your advisor, and your company or your organization intends to go into into contracts with other stakeholders or other partners, the lawyer will always be there to look for what should be in that contract, how should the contract be managed. You know that once the contract is well drafted and parties have agreed to all the terms, the contract will be enforced by the terms of the agreement. The lawyers, all the law firms we come from, they also play a vital role in the strategic planning of these SMEs, because the lawyers are engaged in the planning processes of these small and medium enterprises. So you find that they support them in planning, and it also goes to risk. If you are an advisor of that SMEs, you are assured that if the company is planning for is making an annual plan and they involve a lawyer, is able to check on some of these issues, and it will help the company to grow. We support them with the employment matters, because most of SMEs in Uganda, for instance, you find that they employ between 5 to 49 people, and those are the people that need contracts. Those are the people that they need human resource manuals. Those are the people that need the employment law advisory at any stage. So you find that we are supporting them in the matters of employment. Then we support them in the corporate governance. Corporate governance basically means how companies, organizations are managed and controlled. So you find that we support these small and medium enterprises in enforcing the principles of good corporate governance. And this would be accountability, transparency, shareholders management, among others. So there are so many ways on how we support these small and medium enterprises, but lastly, we also assist them in dispute resolutions. For instance, in the recoveries, they may supply goods and they are not paid. The lawyers will help in recovery. They may be having issues that require mediation. They may be having issues that require arbitration. They may be having issues that actually require court process, or even making demand notices. So we support them in dispute resolution, and we make sure that we support them to grow.
And do they have some common challenges that they face, these SMEs?
Yes, of course, they face a lot of challenges. One, most of them still operate in an informal sector. And the fact that they operate in an informal sector, you find that they are not willing to use professionals. Professionals, I mean the lawyers, I mean the tax consultants, I mean the auditors. So you find that one of the challenges the SMSs face is failure to use professionals. And the moment you don't use professionals in your business, you'll end up messing on some issues, because between me and you can't do everything for yourself. You need that person to guide you. The other challenges, of course, they face is that they face a legal risk, because if you're still operating as an informal sector and you've not embraced the issue of involving these professionals, you find that there are so many risks involved. Then, of course, the other issues are taxation. You find they are not grounded in the matters of taxation. You find that the legal environment is harsh. They do not have capital. They do not have a lot of resources to help them grow. So those are the challenges that you find most of the small and medium enterprises are facing.
And what are some of the legal considerations for those SMEs who want to expand their businesses?
The major consideration is for the small and medium enterprises that wish to expand. One is to formalize business. Most of them have not formalized it. Like I've said, they still operate under the informal sector. And for you to formalize, like for instance, like in Uganda, you need to register yourself, either as a company, either as a partnership, either as a corporation, depending on how you have been advised by your lawyer. So once you register, for instance in Uganda, you are assured that you will get a TIN number and you pay taxes. If you have employees, you will pay for NSSF. So it means that the legal consideration of formalization has been attained. Then the other consideration would be engaging professionals in the operations of these small and medium enterprises. Professionals, I mean the lawyers, I mean the tax consultants, I mean the accountants, I mean the auditors, business advisors, finance advisors. Once you have those people, of course they will come at a cost, but you are assured that there are some of the risks that you try to avoid, which would cost your business. Then of course the other legal consideration is someone would take is to be compliant at all the times. Make sure that you're compliant in your operations, you're compliant in whatever you're doing, to avoid being embarrassed by the law. As you know, ignorance of the law is no defense.
And then have you tried to maybe for the legal part of it? I know people just start businesses anyhow they want, every day and night. Have you reached out to sensitize them about the legal part of it, the importance of having the legal acquisition?
Of course, as you very well know, for us the lawyers, we don't go out looking for clients. Our law does not allow us to go to streets for people to come and formalize their businesses. But I have seen government programs like URSP, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, making some clinics around for people to come and register, or to go and check out with their lawyers to have their businesses formalized. But having such an opportunity on Family TV is also a mode of sensitization for people to formalize their businesses.
Okay. That is true. And how do the law firms tailor their services for to meet specific needs of the SMEs?
Of course, the law firms, most of them, they try to make sure that they work together with the owners of these small and medium enterprises for the purposes of growth. So most of the law firms support these small and medium enterprises at the incorporation stage. They have several packages. They have also packaged themselves to be able to do some partnerships, to do some joint ventures for them. The law firms are helping them in matters of compliance, especially tax, especially the legal and regulatory frameworks. So there are a lot of opportunities available from these law firms to work with the small and medium enterprises.
Okay. Do we have some direct examples where the legal makers, the lawmakers like you, have come out to help the SMEs?
Of course, for us, we are in business. We are not making the laws.
Yes.
For us, our role is to advise people, and we have had programs with the private sector foundation, like our body, Uganda Law Society. We have partnered with them. The Law Society usually has the lawyers are mandated to have pro bono services per year. Once in a while, we offer them, and we support them in many angles. We have tried to sensitize them using media platforms, using social media platforms, so that they can know how to grow their businesses.
Okay. So in what ways can law firms help these SMEs protect their property? What specific ways?
The specific ways in which these law firms can help them to protect their property or for their business to grow. Number one is that law firms can create an enabling environment for them to formalize their businesses. The law firms can continuously offer legal advice and support at any stage to most of these small and medium enterprises. The law firms can as well enter into partnerships, retainer agreements to advise these small and medium enterprises as and when. The law firms can offer education programs, sensitization programs to most of these small and medium enterprises at any stage, at any given chance, so that they are able to comply and they are able to grow in their business operations.
Okay. We have seen so many people lose property. Maybe still on that point. You find someone has taken a loan and everything of theirs has taken. Is there a legal understanding to that? Because even when someone gives you a loan, like a direct person, your individual, they can come and take off your things. And is there any legal representation to that?
Of course, as you know, the small and medium enterprises, they seek for credit facilities from these financial institutions.
Yes.
Let it be bank, let it be money lenders. And in the money lending or in the credit facility business, the borrower, the person who is taking the money, is mandated to pledge security.
Okay.
So now the relationship is between the money lender or the credit institution and this owner of the small and medium enterprise.
Okay.
So now, how do the lawyers come in? The lawyers come in doing due diligence to make sure that, one, the security this person is pledging is genuine. Secondly, if it is a company, that the company that is applying for this security is also genuine. So now the issue of payments comes in where this person is supposed to pay and he does not pay.
Oh.
So how do the lawyers come in? The lawyers come in to make sure that their clients' interests are well protected at any stage. Because for the bank to take your property, there are so many processes that it must go through. Between me and you, you've seen notices published in newspapers.
Yes.
You've seen a lot of processes that these credit institutions go through. So the lawyers support these small and medium enterprises who have taken loans or credit facilities and are failing to pay, to make sure that they get justice at that stage. But the relationship between the creditor and the debtor still remains as a contract between those two parties.
Okay.
But still the lawyers are there to make sure that even if you're failing to pay and you had pledged or you had given your house of 600 millions and you took a loan of 200 millions, at least if they sell it at 200 millions, you get your balance of 400 millions, so that you don't lose the entire property.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And also talking about documentation, things like that, when agreements are coming in, like partnerships or maybe contracts and sort of, do these law firms help in document interpretation before their clients do sign these particular agreements or sort of?
Potentially, that's the role of a lawyer.
Okay.
If you are a small and medium enterprise and you have employed me as your advocate or as your lawyer, and you have an agreement, you want to enter into an agreement for supply of food to family TV, you send me a draft or you work on the documents. So my role is to advise you on every term and condition of that agreement. So we make sure that at the time of signing, you have fully understood what you're signing for.
Okay.
Because once you sign that agreement, it becomes a contract. So lawyers potentially play a fundamental role in contract documentation and management.
Okay. But how expensive is having a law representation in someone's business?
It depends. There is a scale of fees that is issued by the law, that a lawyer should charge this amount of money. If you're drafting an agreement, this is the amount of money you should charge. So the fees, the advantages is that the fees for lawyers is regulated.
Okay.
Secondly, we have what we call freedom of contract. Parties agree to enter into a contract on the terms they have agreed. I agree with you that I will be your lawyer and you pay me 5 million per year. We have agreed, that is what I have agreed. So what matters is for you to take the step, the initial step, to engage the lawyer and check out the terms and references.
Okay.
Of course, several lawyers charge according to the work being done. They charge according to the complexity of the matter. They charge according to seniority. They charge according to relationship. But every Ugandan can get a lawyer who can work for him.
Okay. That's
Qualified lawyer.
Okay. And what strategies do law firms use in recommending mostly issues to do with the conflict resolution in these SMEs?
Of course, the law firms these days, the judicial system is trying to change, where it is being centered on resolving disputes amicably. So the law firms these days are so much interested in mediation of parties. Can this issue be resolved without it going to courts of laws? Can, if you are an advocate or a lawyer in the matter, can you sit down with the parties and see if this dispute can be resolved amicably and quickly? So that is one of the strategies. Then in the documentation is parties can agree on how a dispute is going to be resolved in case it happens. So most of lawyers these days are opting for arbitration. Arbitration is very easy. It's a very easy process whose decision is final and it binds the parties. It takes less time. So these days, all in all, the lawyers are considering quick and amicable ways of dispute resolution between the owners of small and medium enterprises.
Okay. There are some challenges that do come when with the legal side of it, where lawyers actually, we have had some cases, they I don't know how to term it, but you find they are behind someone's business and end up taking up with this. How do we build the trust between these the lawyers and of course the SMEs?
Incidentally, I have not heard of lawyers taking up clients' businesses, but the legal and the regulatory framework for the legal profession in Uganda is very intact, and it is working to the extent that if you have issues with a lawyer, there are steps you must take to have your issues resolved. The lawyers in Uganda are governed by the Law Council, which handles the disciplinary matters of all lawyers. Secondly, Ugandans, you also don't want to do due diligence on the people you're employing.
Oh, yes.
You meet someone putting on a suit, they are calling him counsel, they are calling him lawyer, but at times you find that that person has never gone to school. Or someone is a clerk is somewhere, or someone who knows some words, and you find that, oh, counsel, my lawyer, my what. So at times you find that some clients also, you don't do due diligence on the lawyers. But if you have any issue with the lawyer, there are so many regulatory steps. There is a strong regulatory framework that one has to take to make sure that you recover whatever this person could have done that is not right.
Okay, that is very, very important. Of course, we are discussing how the lawyers or how the legal people can help, of course, grow the small and medium enterprises there. Because when you're starting up a business, what do you need? You need support from the law. Of course, we always center on the law. And if your business is not legally represented, legally registered, then if any risk happens, you will have very, very less chances of recovering whatever you will be having initially. So we are still discussing this, and briefly after a short break we shall continue with this.